Hey there world, so I decided since I had a show today that I was going to do my first ever makeup tutorial. Hopefully this goes smoothly. I apologize if it doesn't. Like I said, this is my first time. This look is primarily for a dance performance I have today at a benefit called Shimmy and Shake for Autism. I'll give you the contact link for the information for the event below. I know it's like a little late because it's the day of, but you can always donate to it. It's for Asperger's. A friend of mine in the studio, one of my fellow dance sisters' son, has Asperger's, so she does this event to help raise money and awareness for the disease and the cause. I would primarily just wear this to nighttime shows. This is like a weird, like, afternoon show. It starts at 3, but it ends at 6, and it's technically in a theater type stage setting, so I like to wear a little bit crazier, darker, more oomph when it's on stage as opposed to when I'm in a festival and I'm with the public face to face. So I was really torn. I'm like, I'm gonna be walking around at noon looking like a drag queen, but whatever, it'll look good on stage. So stay tuned if you want to see how to achieve this look. Hopefully I'll be doing more of these videos. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do after removing all the oil from my eye is I'm going to start out with the base, and I'm using a paint pot. This is Paint Orly by MAC. It's flush toned. It sort of just mutes everything out on your eye, gets rid of any imperfections, covers up any veins you might have. I'm sticking that all over and I'm extending it out. And also bringing it underneath my eye as well. And I'll do that on both sides. Next thing I'm going to do is take my Urban Decay Primer Potion. These two steps are interchangeable. Sometimes I do the primer potion first, other times I do the paint pot first. It doesn't really matter. I just know with me, my eyelids are super oily, like ridiculously oily. So it's kind of important I do both of these in whatever order I'm feeling for the day. And just rub it on in. There's really not a scientific method to this. Getting to one of our last steps, we're going to get a neutral sort of flesh-ish shimmer color. This is called Carnivora, and it's by Tokidoki. You're going to take it and sweep it under your brow bone. And this is going to add some definition to your eye. And sweep it into the center, around your nose. And you want to get it right here in your inner part of your eye. This is going to really pop your eye open. Make them look bigger. And then go ahead right underneath your eye as well. And again, if it gets too low for you, you can go ahead and clean it up afterwards when you clean up any fallout you have on your face. Alright, so onto liner. I am using Wet n Wild H2O Proof. I know this seems like a really cheap option, but it's actually a pretty amazing eyeliner. Alright, so relax your eye. You're going to want to start in the middle and just sort of make little dashes. Don't try to line your entire eye because it's not going to work. The one swoop. Just little teeny tiny dash marks work best, especially when you're starting out. Alright, so go ahead and draw it down to the outer part of your eye. Come back in. And very, very, very carefully. With a very, very thin line, come in and do this half of your eye. You want to get a little thicker as you get to the outside. And then extend the wing. It's kind of going to blend into the black just a little bit, but it's going to stand out enough that it's going to make your lashes look longer on the outside. Alright, so to mask up that inner black just a little, we're going to grab our Toki Doki again and Carnivora and just pat it atop. Just like that, and it's going to relax the black just a little bit. So it's not quite as intense on the inner corner of our eye. There we go. Like I said, I am going to clean that up in a moment. Alright, so next you're going to take your jumbo eye pencil in Black Bean again, and we're going to put it on our lower lash line. I'm sorry, waterline. I used to use a gel eyeliner for this, but I have found that the Black Bean just goes on a lot smoother, and it doesn't glob, and it doesn't stick to my contact lenses, so it's much better. Take your matte black eyeshadow again, and come in and just gently pat on top of the Black Bean to seal that in. It's going to feel a little bizarre for a moment, but only for a moment. It's going to go away. Alright, there's the liners. Alright, next you're going to take your lashes of choice. I'm just using a generic pair of lashes. I'm not sure what brand they are, I couldn't tell you. I am, however, going to use my Duo Eyelash Adhesive in dark. And these are nice because it actually comes out black rather than white. Fluffy little shadow brush. Mine's a little dirty, but I'm using close to the same colors, so I'm not going to bother cleaning it for my tutorial today. Alright, so you want to grab this light, get it in the film, honey color right here. Take it, and we're going to pat it into the center, right between the two colors, and then extend onto the white. Wiggle in your crease, and get it all the way down to your lash line. Okay, and grab a little more. There we go. There's just a little teeny bit of shimmer to this. I don't want this look to have too much shimmer. Alright, there we go. Awesome. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is take a 4 shades darker brown with the same brush and start patting it onto the black. This you're going to bring up right above your crease. Angle your brush and you're going to bring it out to where your eyebrow stops. And then up and over. There we go. And kind of pat and gently sweep and blend that up. Grab yourself a smaller angled brush for this next step. Mine is by e.l.f. You want to take black, a matte black. Go ahead, put that on the brush. And you're going to come in here and just at the very outer corners, dab, and then angle it up into the crease. And this is going to give your eye more definition. You want to keep it at that angle. And then start to drag it down along the lash line. Do not extend it past the honey color. You want it about right in the middle of the honey color. And then just gently blend. Bring it up over into the crease about halfway into the honey color. There we go. Alright, so what you're going to want to do next is take it, open your eye, and start to drag it down towards your lower lash line. Probably have to re-up on your black a little bit. Now, if your color gets too heavy on your lower lash line and you feel like you're getting black eyes, you can clean it up when you're finished with the makeup wipe. There we go. And I think I am satisfied with that. Alright, so go ahead and let your lashes dry. Once the glue has become tacky, you're going to want to take them and give them a little bendy bend. Especially if you haven't already bent them, you're going to want to definitely bend the crud out of them. And then just go ahead and place them on. Weirdest thing ever filming eyelash placement. Now I know why the gurus never do it. Alright, you want to get it as close to the lash line as possible. I usually get it situated and then I grab, trying to find out where it is, a pair of tweezers, and I just sort of wiggle it on there. I'm going to do this as best I can on the camera. It's probably going to be hit or miss whether it is successful or not. While I'm doing this, I am going to say it is pretty important that you get a good fit for your lashes. Don't pop them out of the package Focus. There we go. Don't pop them out of the package and throw them on your eyes and expect that you're going to have success with them, because you're not. You really do need to trim your lashes. All right. There we go. All right. They're on with some form of success. Awesome. All right. Now what I like to do is, after I get my lashes on, I like to go back in with my eyeliner and just sort of tap places where it didn't quite stay on because of the lash glue. And I think this also just makes it blend into the false lash better, so you don't get that strong line. There we go. I'm probably going to go in again and darken my outside crease a little bit more. But for now, I'm going to leave it, just because I'm just going to leave it. Oh, those are heavy lashes. All right. Almost finished with the eyes now. All right, let's go ahead and grab your mascara. You're just going to sweep it on underneath your lashes, and this is going to help your natural lashes blend in to and stick to the false lashes. Now you'll notice I don't use false lashes on the inner corner of my eye, and that's because I have very sensitive eyes, and I've noticed if I try to extend the false lashes to the inner corner of my eyes freak out and I can't wear my contacts. So I have cut them to my perfect length. All right, so that is it for the eyes. All right, on to the brows. I just brought a brow kit from e.l.f. and I'm not quite sure how I like it yet, so I'm just going to go with my tried and true usual little method of defining my brows. This is a eyeliner from Estee Lauder. The name has worn off the side, so I can't tell you what the color is, but it is brown. It's fairly close to my natural color. So what I do is I just come in and sort of lightly dash the color across my brows, filling in spots, especially like right here. Or I have a little bit of brow pattern baldness. I think I just invented a new term. And go ahead and dot and bring that down. All right. The one thing I got from the kit that I really did like was... Oh, of course it's going to hide from me. All right, the one thing I got from the e.l.f. kit that I really did like is the brow setting mascara. I tried this yesterday and I had a lot of success with it. I liked it a lot. It's a little bit thicker than their clear mascara. Just sort of brush it onto your brows. And this spooly's nice because it kind of has its own little brush dealy there that helps you wheel it in right into place. Alright, so that is it for the eyes. I'm going to finish up my other eye and then we're going to move on to the rest of the face. Alright, so I have finished my other eye. They're looking pretty even now. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my face. The first thing I'm going to do is use my Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion right where my skin is super dry. I've been having weird issues in my T-zone lately. Like usually it's very oily, but for some reason it's been really dry. Today not so much, but right around my brows I tend to get kind of dry, so I've been trying to keep that moisturized so when I get them threaded they don't bleed. They bled like a mofo last time. Usually the BB cream is enough to moisturize, but just I think it's just the change of seasons that my skin's been doing weird things. Alright, so I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Fresh BB cream. I have tried this, I have tried the e.l.f. brand, I have tried Garnier, and thus far the Maybelline has been my favorite. It has an SPF of 30, so that is pretty awesome. And it just seems to blend the best and work the best. You can apply it with the brush, but I have found I like to just dab it on my face and then use like a brush finger method. It really seems to work the best with the BB cream. Letting it sit on your face like this will warm it up for you. So dab that on, grab your brush of choice, usually a flat concealer brush is good, and then go to town. This stuff is fabulous. It lasts all day. It is not heavy on your skin, which I really like. It's not too greasy. It's a little... I find all BB creams actually are kind of greasy when they first go on your skin. But they even themselves out pretty quickly. Blend it down, and this is usually where I give up and start making sure it's blended with my fingers. The brush will really help it get into your skin. The fingers are more just so I can be sure it's smooth and evenly blended. I'm a very tactile person when it comes to my makeup. So being able to feel it really helps me, especially when I'm working with the camera and it's hard to see details too clearly on the viewfinder. Not that I don't have a mirror in front of me, because I do. It's besides the point. Alright, that feels nice and even and very smooth. I love the way this stuff makes my skin feel. It is awesome. Alright, so pro tip for those using this as a Bellydance makeup tutorial. I have found when you do your foundation and then remember to put your bindi on, it's a problem because the spirit gum will stick to the powder in the foundation, not your skin, and you need it to stick to your skin. So what I usually do when I'm wearing a bindi, and I am actually not today, is I will put my makeup on and then I will take a little bit of the remover and just wipe right where my bindi is going. So keep that in mind if you're doing this and you're going to be wearing a bindi. Either don't put makeup right here, or put your bindi on first and then do your foundation, or clean it off and then stick it on. Don't try to wear your bindi with your concealer and foundation on, because it's going to fall off. Alright, so that's my pro tip for that for the day. Alright, next I'm going to take, if I can find it, there it is, my e.l.f. cover stick in apricot beige. This thing has been destroyed, but this is what it looks like. It used to say e.l.f. on here. It's gotten torn up. I'm sorry, world. Sorry, e.l.f. Bad representation of your product, but it works really well. It kind of smells like little kid makeup, so don't be thrown off by that. But it's a great base for concealer, especially for under eye areas like this. I got very little sleep last night, so I'm gonna try and cover up these bags a little bit. Careful not to destroy what you did with your makeup. The fact if you used a paint pot like I did, it's going to help with the bags underneath too, so you won't have to get quite up in there. Alright, just go ahead and blend that out. Alright, so this is a really good base for covering imperfections for concealer. It seems a little redundant to use a base and then use a concealer. You can use this as a concealer for everyday wear. For shows and long time purposes, I like to use both. Because nothing irritates me more than when you get to the end of a show, especially a lengthy show like we have today, and your makeup's creased and it's run and you have that horrible line in your eyes and you look a mess. And then you have to take pictures with people and you look like crap. So I tend to use more to look better by the end of the day. That's not to say you should pile on your foundation. It's a balance. You'll get used to it. All right, so for the concealer, I just started using this. Mary gave this to me. She is our Avon rep in the studio. It's called Ideal Shade. Comes in a little stick like this. She vends at a lot of the events, so if you're interested, I would definitely hit her up. She's fantastic, and this stuff is really, really good. I take a little bit on my finger and smear it on underneath. Smear is a technical term. But I really am impressed with this. I used to not care too much for Avon products, but this is actually kind of amazing. And I will probably be ordering a stick from her. She gave me this quite a while ago to try as a sample and to give away. So I am trying it. Sorry, I'm keeping this one, but there are a bunch of other samples that are being given away today in a drawing at the Shimmy and Shake for Autism event. Alright, let me get down here. So technically, I think this is a stick foundation. I'm not sure. Hopefully Mary will correct me at some point in time. But I'm just using it as a spot treatment. My skin is usually fairly good. I just have a couple breakouts for whatever reason. My skin decided to freak out. It's all good. Alright. So after we have that, what I use as my all-over powder, I was using a Bare Minerals powder. That gets a little expensive. I found an e.l.f. powder foundation that is a mineral. I know, I really love e.l.f. I use it a lot. As much as I love Urban Decay and Tokidoki, e.l.f. is a really good product. Not everything they have is fantastic, but most of their products are excellent and they are super cheap. I mean, we're talking like a couple dollars. So I would rather use that and admit to using a cheap drugstore brand than spend $10 million. Now, if you want eyeshadow that packs a punch, e.l.f. is not it. It's good for day-to-day wear, but not for performance quality makeup. Alright, so you swirl your brush in your mineral foundation. And I'm actually going to be using my mineral foundation as my powder. It wears light enough that it makes a good powder, but still offers enough coverage for stage. One of the things a lot of people forget about when they do shows, especially when they're novice, is that if you get on an actual stage like we're performing on today, the lighting is going to wash you out. You're going to be a ghost and you're going to be pale as hell. And that's a problem. So, even if you don't normally wear makeup, I suggest getting a foundation and a powder. and even just a little of it, especially if you get something like this where it's a powdered foundation, it's perfect. It's gonna not make you look like Casper, and it's gonna cut back on any shine that the stage lights are going to produce for you. All right, so there we go. And I get very paranoid about my powder, and like I said, I'm kind of tactile, so I go through and I just gently massage it in with my fingertips, and I find this gets off any excess powder that might have just been a little too much for my skin to handle. All right, we are nearing completion of the finished product. So you want to take let's contour first. A contour palette like this. You can use a solid color. This is called the Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder by NYC. I really like this. Swirl your brush, give it a little blow, suck in the cheeks, and contour away. Fish face is not optional. You must make a fish face. Unless, of course, you have killer cheekbones already, then why are you contouring? But that's besides the point. Alright, so go ahead and add a little under your chin and your jawline. If you have a bit of extra under your chin, this will help shadow it out and make your chin pop forward a little bit more. There we go. You can also take this time to contour out the sides of your nose if you don't like the way your nose is shaped. Through here. Bronzer's a really great, inexpensive alternative to a contouring palette if you can't afford one or just don't want one. Alright, last is the blush. Same company, Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder. This is Pink Cheek Glow. I like to use a fan brush for my blushes. I kind of find it's very hard to mess up and do too much blush if you're using a fan brush. So smile like a fool and go ahead and brush it on. And it creates kind of like the perfect little rosy hint without going too much. Now, an option for you if you're on stage is to take your highlighting color. So I'm going to use the same color I used to highlight my brow. Get that on your brush and just sort of right here on the high point of your cheek. Give that a little brush, and that's going to create this super nice little iridescent sheen that the light's going to pick up on stage. And it's not going to reflect too much. It's just kind of going to give you that something like, ooh, that's kind of a neat effect. Okay, so there is that. All right. Lastly, we're going to do our lips. I have primed my lips already with the Alba Coconut Cream Lip Balm. This stuff is great, all natural. You can get it at Walmart. It's a little pricey, but Okay, so since I have such dramatic eyes today, I'm actually going to not do too much with my lips. I'm going to use the pH Matchmaker. I've talked about this before. This is a great little product. It has a light. Ooh. It has a mirror and it changes to the pH balance of your skin. So when you put it on, it will actually, you can watch it change right this second. So it comes out of the tube this crazy neon pink color, and you can see it's kind of changing to a pinky mauve on my lips. And here's my lips without it, here's it with it. So you can see the slight color change. This stuff is kind of awesome. It's like the Mood lipsticks from the 90s, except it doesn't turn hideous colors on you. So smear it together, and that is it.